This is the reading for Sagittarius for the winter of 2016-17 from Canada. So our winters are December 21st to March 19th. So anybody on the other side of the globe there, that's the dates we're talking about here. Okay, I'm going to get right into it. Sagittarius, we are your immediate. Have courage. So you may have a situation where you're needing courage, or you may have a situation where you're gaining courage. And I think it's mostly in the gaining sector here. If I can feed off the fall reading, they were really going through some upheaval here with dealing with some stuff, and they're kind of going to be in the process of like waiting and watching and putting up boundaries. So I'm feeling like, you know, just have courage to continue with that. What is crossing you is here the Ancient One, so be careful of your intuition, be careful of advice of other people, and by that I mean watch that your ego don't get in the way taking some good advice. That's really what's going on here, is there might be somebody saying, you know, you should do this, and you're like, I don't care, remember. Just chill out and, you know, take it into account. There might be some good information there, some good key points that you might regret later if you don't take that advice. It may come through intuition, or it may come from outside sources, but either way there's some good advice there on how to deal with this a little better. And if you don't take it, it's going to be a little more choppy, that ride that you're on. Now, what's in your mind here? Your thoughts. Know your fears. So I think in dealing with this situation of the culmination of putting down boundaries, I think along the way there's some fear of being trodden upon. Knowing your fears is really kind of taking note of your fears. Taking, you know, a log and going, okay, this. Just being aware. Being of sound mind with it, and looking at that and going, okay, these are my fears, and don't let anybody, you know, play on that. And if they're playing on it, then no, you know, there's some funny business there. So that kind of thing, just being aware, know where your fears are at, and how you're going to deal with it. Kind of have a game plan of how you're going to strategize through that. What's passing away from you is seek your destiny. That's kind of a sad that's kind of a sad thing, because we had it in a different position in the last reading, basically saying you can get those tools and those things, and you can go in the right direction. And here it's saying, no, you give up on that. You give up on the dream, which is sad. And that is sad, Sagittarius. I don't like that it's passing away. Mind you, this is a changeable card. We can change it back. We just have to be aware of where we got rid of it, where we're giving up on it. We're giving up on our dreams. We're giving up on the happiness. They're going, nobody's going to be happy anyway. It's kind of like that kind of an attitude. So being very much in that rut of negativity and pessimism and cynicism and all of that. So that being a passing away card, it can always float back into your reality here, but it seems like over winter you're like, no, I'm not going to be happy and I don't care. Like that kind of thing. You're just kind of in a really cantankerous state. I'm saying that with a twinkle in my eye, but it's kind of a funk that you're in. So you're going to be in this bitchy kind of twitchy kind of mode, and you're going to have to deal with it. So in the meantime, when you're in that mode, you just can't get to happiness. You can't be there. You can't dream about it. It's just not in your reality. So that's passing away, and that's really what it is. That cynicism, the negativity is overcoming you. So there it sits. Now your immediate future, time to reflect. This is your, what do I call it, checkpoint to cash in and go, okay, what am I giving up on here? Really, what am I giving up on? Is it worth it to sit in this negativity? It's like taking, right? What is that saying? It's like taking poison and expecting the other person to fall from it, you know? It's like you have all this bitterness against all these other people. So you really have to take time to reflect, like, what is it that's pissing me off? What is it that's getting under my skin so much? Like, why can't I let this go? That's really what I'm sensing. Why can't I let it go? So you need to take time to reflect. And in your near future, I feel like you may get into a situation where you have time to do that. So it's a matter of being constructive within that and going, yeah, like I need to figure out why I'm so negative. and why I'm letting it rule me, you know, instead of, you know, and I'm losing here, what, you know, and then get this destiny card back on track. Put that back up in here. You know, okay, this is a checkpoint where, you know, time to reflect. That's what reflecting is about. See if you're going in the right direction. Stop and pause. You know, you might be running off a bridge here with no, I mean, there's no gate. It's just boom. It's nothing that's after. So we have to really realize where we're going. So I see you having a time like that. Just whether or not these Sagittarians and their pessimism and their cantankerous selves, whether they will let that rule or they will kind of soften a bit and go, yeah, who am I, you know, who's winning here? And, you know, is it me or, you know, kind of taking a checkpoint. So there's a time there. We'll see what happens. In your distant future here, we have need and necessity. So just, you know, that daily grind, you know, and that's kind of clouding everything for you. It's really, I feel like it's a challenge for you because of that. You know, you may be working overtime, maybe putting in extra hours, or just maybe not doing a lot outside of work where anything's getting in. Along the path, we have staying strong now. Yeah, and I'm seeing like without resentment. Like that malice card almost should be here. But it's like there's a certain part of you that is aware of your fears. There's a little area there where they can make progress. So hopefully they do, and they have to stay strong in it. But not strong in the pessimism, but strong in the power of overcoming these hurdles that keep coming at you. And then you have repetitive pattern. Yeah, you got to look deeper. You're not looking deep enough. You just swat these guys away. You know, you don't realize the door's open. And they're all coming in, you know, you just keep swatting them and you're not realizing, yeah, hey, I left the door open. You know what I mean? So you got to attack these things at the root. And I feel like some of these Sagittarians are missing that root. So it just keeps coming back for them. Embrace spirit. So embrace your intuition. Embrace little voices that you hear in your head. You know, take them into account every once in a while and give them some credit, you know, and maybe make a decision from there. As long as it's not that cantankerous one. You know, it's that bugger, that little devil instead of the angel. You know, listen to the good side of things. And like I feel like there's heavy intuition here for you. Mind you, is looking away from the job, the need and necessity. So it's like you cannot have the two. And that makes sense. You know, you're so driven, you got your head so full. So you just kind of have to balance. Maybe balance a little more of the work or that thing that's driving you so much, and let the good ideas flow, right? Let the universal energies flow in and embrace that. Observe in silence. So they're still watching and waiting. These Sagittarians are watching and waiting for these people to come in, and that's probably why they're in the mode. They're like, okay, just you try it, and we'll see what happens. You know, and they're getting caught in that, you know, and it's. You know, and you just gotta chill. You gotta chill a little more, relax a little more. You know, don't be there with a bat or an axe or a battle axe. You know, don't do that. Observe in silence, but don't get crazy with it. And then your end result is time to ground. So some of these Sagittarians may be a little bit off their rocker, I'm gonna say, but not like that. But ungrounded. And I mean, I was saying it to some of the other signs that if you get ungrounded, man, that is where your temper flares. That is where, and I know for me too, if I'm grounded, I have a really hard time getting me riled up if I'm grounded. So ground out, go outside, get into nature, spend time in nature, and be in the air. So that's really the answer here. I feel like very strongly that is the answer, is to grounding out and getting. So the animal help here. For the cards, we have the polar bear. Stand up for yourself and speak your truth respectfully and compassionately with no attachment to the outcome. That is exactly what it is. These guys, these Sagittarians are expecting them, well, you better react this way, this way, this way. No, you just want them to be aware that you made those boundaries and you respectfully and compassionately. That is the key here. That's good. I couldn't have said it better myself. But, yeah, That's basically what these Sagittarians are in the process of doing. They're standing up for themselves, putting up those boundaries. And they just have to do it with respect and compassion instead of anger and resentment. That's really what's coming across. And then don't attach to the outcome. Don't attach. Don't worry about what they could or couldn't do. Just let it be known, this, I'm not going to put up with this no more. This is where I stand on this. Boom. That's it. Boom. That's it. And that's because it just makes it a lot easier to let go in the end. It's like, I don't care what they do. They just need to know. They need to know. And that makes it a lot easier to float past it. To not hang, there's, you know, that burden on your back, that monkey on your back. You don't stay. You can't grip when you don't have an attachment to what they do. If you don't care what they do, it doesn't matter. You know, like, in a sense, in that flippant kind of way, in that sense. But to come from respect and compassion instead of, you know, all this fiery energy that they've got on reserve, these Sagittarians. But nonetheless, still waiting and watching a little bit here from certain sources. I feel like it's not just one source. I think there's certain areas, and then once they realize the effect here, the positive effect in that way, they're really going to go outward with it. You're going to go, hey man, barriers. That's the key. And they're just going to enforce it in all areas, and then they'll be able to come off their high horse and really, you know, do the respect and the compassion bit, and then that'll just smooth it right out, and then they'll seem like they're a little more human. They're a little more easy to get along with, and you know what? It will be a lot easier for them to get along with less fire-ups, with less flare-ups, really. So that is the reading for the winter of 2016-17 for Sagittarians. Now, being in Canada, that's December 21st to March 19th. That's the time zone here. So for everybody that's subscribing, liking, commenting, thank you very much. I appreciate it. I really do. A lot of these videos, I'm trying to keep it under 30. So I can't really say what I want to say. I have to kind of really, it has to be all on content. All the viewers, it's all great. hopefully you get something out of this. Hopefully it resonates. For Sagittarians for the winter of 2016, thank you, take care, and be kind.